Students, let's do Brahmanath. Om. Om. Santi, Santi, Santi. Swasth.
Good morning students, welcome back to class again. Today we are going to start with another topic from your cell structure and function. That is the topic name, it is your cilia and flagella. It is also one important cell organelle that present inside your cell. Okay, mostly in case of eukaryotic cells. Before going to today's class, let us discuss about some few important points from your previous class. In previous class, what we have studied? Yes, we have studied about the cytoskeleton. What is cytoskeleton? It is the combination of most of the fibrous proteins which are present in case of eukaryotic cells. Why it is present only in eukaryotic cells? Because eukaryotic cells are multicellular, but it is absent in prokaryotic cells. As the eukaryotic cells are multicellular, they need a specific organization in their cell, and they are having the several cell organelles. They need to be moved from one place to other. That's why this multicellular organism, it helps, the cytoskeleton helps in the cell growth, cell division, maintenance of the cell shape, and it also helps in the movement of different cell organelles inside your cell. Okay, then we have discussed about the different types of cytoskeleton. Mainly three types of cytoskeleton are there. What is that? That is your microfilament, microtubule and intermediate filament. In microfilament we have discussed it is composed of mostly your actin protein, but the microtubule it is having the tubulin protein, that is alpha tubulin and beta tubulin. But the intermediate filament having the protein that is your vimentin, desmin and protofilaments. Okay, but they also varies in their function also. That is microfilament, they mostly helps in the cytoplasmic streaming, but the microtubule, which is the main component of your cilia, flagella, spindle fiber and centrosome. Today we will discuss about the cilia and flagella in details, and in intermediate filaments, which mainly helps in the, that is present in the four types, which is mostly present inside your animal cells. Okay, you can find in the skin the keratin filament is present, and inside your neuron, that is your nervous system, you can find the axon and dendron filament which are present. Okay, then glial filament and heterogeneous filament which is present inside our muscle. Okay, these are important cytoskeleton we have discussed in the previous class. Let us today start with your cilia and flagella. These are, what is the structure? These are the protoplasmic processes which are present in the surface of the cell. Okay, let us start with the first important point, that is cilia and flagella are protoplasmic processes. Protoplasmic where are they present? They are present on the surface of the cell. Okay, most of the cells they are present, which are present on surface of the cell. Okay, in which cell you can find these cilia and flagella? Okay, where is the location of that cilia and flagella? If you consider about the location, mostly you can find the cilia in case of bryophytes, pteridophytes, oviduct, then gametes, then another, that is protista. Okay, these are some important organisms. You can find the structure of your cilia and flagella. In case of protista, inside your paramecium, euglena, these are some important example of the protista. You can find the cilia structure. And in case of bryophyte and pteridophyte, you have studied that in bryophyte, pteridophyte, you have the zoospore structures, which mainly helps in the reproduction process. That also having the cilia or that is having the flagella-like structure. In case of Chlamydomonas, if you consider, in case of algae you have, in case of algae you have Chlamydomonas. Already you have studied, when you have studied about the algae, the Chlamydomonas having the structure of Suppose this is your chlamydomonas. These flagella-like structure are present. Okay, this is the structure of your chlamydomonas. Then oviduct, it is present inside your female reproductive system. In case of human body, it is also having the cilia-like structure and different gametes. It may be male gamete and female gamete. It is also having the flagella-like structure. Okay, these are the important locations where you can find the cilia and flagella structures. Then another important point is that inside your animal cells, where do we find these structures? Inside our respiratory tract, that is inside our respiratory tract, renal tubules, that is which is present inside your kidney, and the renal tubules which are present inside your kidney, and in respiratory tract, that is when you respire the outer environment, that is when we respire the oxygen inside our respiratory system, the bronchites, the larynx, pharynx which are present inside our respiration, that also contains the different types of cilia. Okay, we have these structures which are present inside our animal body, and both the cilia and flagella, they are similar in structure. You can write that point, cilia and flagella are similar in structure. Besides that similarity, they also having some differences in between them. Okay, note down these points, then we will discuss about what is the difference between the cilia and flagella. Let us discuss about some basic difference between cilia and flagella. How can you identify a cilia and flagella? Okay. How can you identify about cilia and flagella? First is that the number. The number of cilia inside your cell, it is very large, but here you can find very few number of flagella, that is 1 to 2 number of flagella is present inside your cell. Then if you consider about the length, if you consider about the length of the cilia, it is shorter in length, but it is larger in length. That is, the length is around 5 to 10 micrometer in length, and it is here is around about 150 micrometer. Okay. Then, if you consider about the another important function or another important point, that is your movement. In movement, cilia shows coordination type of movement. Okay, cilia shows coordination in movement. What is the coordination movement? That is, if one cilia goes to one direction, then all the cilia will go to the same direction. Why? Because they have the coordination activity. If you consider about our respiratory tract, if we taking the oxygen in our body, the cilia which are present in your respiratory tract, it will move to downward direction as we are taking the oxygen inside our body. Okay, that's why they show the coordination movement. Okay, that is, all the cilia move in same direction. But if you consider about the flagella, they show independent movement. It shows independent movement. As we have know that only 1 to 2 flagella are present. If you say any zoospores or gametes, they show independent movement. That is, the all activity of the flagella depends upon that cell only. But here, if there is presence of more than one cilia, that's why their movement is coordinated, and that's why they show sweeping type of movement. Sweeping type of movement. Okay, that is, they show one direction movement. But here you can see undulation type of movement. What is that undulation means? Here, undulation means the flagella which are present in case of suppose in Chlamydomonas you have the two flagella. One is known as your Whiplash flagella and another known as your tinsel flagella. Okay, one is your larger flagella, one is shorter flagella. Okay, that flagella shows the upward movement and also downward movement. Okay, suppose if you consider about also euglena. Okay, suppose this is the structure of euglena. One is Whiplash type of flagella and another is tinsel type of flagella. Okay, one is Whiplash and another is your tinsel. Okay, this Whiplash flagella, which is larger and smaller flagella which are present, they show upward and downward movement. They show upward and downward movement. Okay. That's why they are able to move, or that's why they are able to move from one place to another place. But if you consider an example of a cilia, you can consider about the structure of your paramecium. If you consider about the example, then this is the structure of your paramecium. Okay, this paramecium having the large number of cilia on the surface of the cells. Okay, these are known as your cilia structure. Okay, they show coordination in movement, but here they show the independent movement, that is the undulation type of movement. Okay, these are some basic differences between your cilia and flagella. Okay, now let us discuss about some important features of your anatomical features, how they internally look, what is the internal structure of your cilia and flagella. Basing on the internal structure, mainly there are presence of four types of structure. That is, if you consider the internal structure of okay, internal structure of cilia and flagella, they are having four parts. First is your basal body, rootlet fiber, then basal plate, then sac. Okay, these are some important internal structure you can find inside your cilia and flagella. That is your basal body, rootlet fiber, basal plate and sac. Okay, individually we will discuss in details. Note down these points, then we will discuss about the first structure, that is your basal body. Discuss about the important features of the cilia and flagella, how their structure looks. Okay, look at the structure, you can see the structure. There is the presence of the cilia and flagella. This is vertical section of cilia and flagella. You can say this is base of cilia and flagella. Okay, this is the vertical section. If you draw a section of the flagella, then it will look like this. Okay, first we have said that the first structure of the flagella, it is your basal body. Okay, let us first discuss about the structure of basal body. Okay, also called as, it is also called as basal granule, or we call it as blepharoplast, or other name of this basal body is kinetosome. Okay, these three names we can call the basal body. Okay, here you can see these different structures. You can see the structure here. 1, 2, 3 subfibers are present. This structure, it is known as your basal body. Okay, this structure, it is known as your basal body. Okay, it is present mostly in the outer side of the cytoplasm. Suppose this is your cell. Okay, suppose it is a cell. Okay, then the outer covering of the cell, it is known as your cell wall. Then there is presence of the plasma membrane. Okay, this is plasma membrane. And inside the cytoplasm, we can divide the cytoplasm into two parts. What is that? That is the outer ectoplasm and the inner, that is your endoplasm. Okay, the outer ectoplasm, it is known as your plasma gel, and inner it is known as your plasma gel. Okay, and the basal body, it arises from this, that is towards the outer part of the cytoplasm and inner to the cell membrane. Okay, we can write that point. Basal body arises from outer part of cytoplasm and inner to cell membrane or plasma membrane. Okay, that is this basal body structure arises from this only, this structure, this portion from this it arises. Okay, and another important point is that they usually mainly helps in, you can write that another point, really having three subfibers. We have already seen the three subfiber structures here. You can see these are three subfiber structures. Okay, these are the microtubules. Okay, these subfibers, and also similar to centriole structure. Okay, if you consider about this centriole, which mainly helps on the cell division process to separation of the chromosome, separation of the DNA, that centriole, it is also having a three subfiber structure, and basal body also having the three subfiber structures. Later we will discuss about the centriole. Then next important feature, that is we can see this portion, the lower to the basal body, the presence of the, there is support. This support, it is known as your rootlet fiber. Okay, this portion of the base which is present below the basal body. Okay, you can write that point. Into we have rootlet fiber. You can write that point. It is present below the basal body. It is present, and it mainly consists of the bundles of microfilament. Already we have studied in the cytoskeleton. Okay, it is made up of, bundles of microfilament. Okay, and it mainly supports the basal body. What is the main function of the rootlet fibers? That is, it supports the basal body structure. You can write the function that it supports the basal body. Okay, these are some important points about the basal body and rootlet fibers. Note down these points, then we will discuss about the basal plate. Okay. Okay, let us now discuss about the basal plate. What is that structure? You can see about the basal body, there is presence of a plate-like structure. These plate-like structures, these are singlet structures. They are having the single subfibers. But here in the basal body, you can find the triplet subfiber. That is, three subfibers are present. That is, you can write that point. Here also, above the, it is present above the cytoplasm. That is upon the level of the cell membrane. This is our cell membrane. Here it is present in this portion. Okay, on the level of the cell membrane. Okay, and this one is your rootlet, and middle portion it is your basal body, and this is your rootlet, and middle portion is your basal body, and the level upon the plasma membrane which is present, that is known as your basal plate, which is present upon the plasma membrane. Okay, we can write that point. Third, it is your basal plate. It is a high density area, present on plasma membrane above which structure? That is your basal body. Above the basal body, it is present. Above basal body, it is having singlet or triplet fibers. It is having singlets of fibers. Singlet of fibers, and you can see the fibers are arise from the tip of the basal plate, and these are the known as your shaft or the microtubules of the shaft. That is, you can at that point the microtubules of shaft developed from basal plate. That is central microtubules. Okay, these are some important pictures about the basal plate. This is our basal plate, and above the basal plate, the whole structure they are having a number of microtubule structure. This is known as your shaft. It is known as your central microtubule, and this is peripheral. This peripheral microtubule is also known as your outer microtubule, and it is central. These are the parts of your shaft. Okay. Then next one is you can write that point. That is shaft. Okay. It is a hair-like outgrowth of cilium. Okay, these are hair-like structures which arises from the cilia. That is consist of mostly microtubules. That is central microtubule and outer microtubule. And here these portions arises from this. Okay, the shaft structure arises from the basal plate. The central part of the shaft arises from the basal plate. You can see the structure. Okay, then it is covered by sheath. Okay, the outer portion of this shaft, it is covered by your sheath-like structure, a covering-like structure. Okay, note out these points. Then we will discuss about the internal structure of your shaft, how it is looking and how it is functioning, how the 9 plus arrangement is showing. Okay, how it is showing the 9 plus arrangement. Note down these points. The structure of internal structure of cilia and flagella. Already we have discussed that the sheath, it is having a outer sheath covering, and these sheath are nothing, these are the extension of plasma membrane. Suppose this is the plasma membrane. We have already, suppose we have, this is the cell and this is the plasma membrane. Okay, here is the basal body present, and here we have the basal body, and here we have the basal plate, and from which the sheath arises, or this shaft arises, the last structure, that is your shaft, and it is the extension of the plasma membrane. This plasma membrane structure, or we called it as the extension of the plasma membrane. Shaft is the extension of plasma membrane. Okay, this structure is the nothing, so it is the extension of plasma structure. Okay, now see the structure of the TS, that is your transverse section. Here you can see there is arrangement of several microtubules within a single structure. Already we have said that shaft consists of two types of microtubules, that is central microtubule, and those are occurs outside, they are known as outer microtubules. And these microtubules, if we cut a section of that cilia or flagella, we can see this type of structure presence. There is presence of several microtubules. There is doublet microtubules and singlet microtubules. Then we can write that point. Okay, the sheath or the shaft consists of semi-fluid matrix. Okay, that is they are having an outer sheath and they are having an inner sheath structure. Okay, that is they are having outer and inner sheath. Okay. Then you can find two types of microtubules. That is, here you can see these are the doublet microtubules, but here the singlet microtubules are present. Okay. Here it is these are known as your singlet microtubule. But here you can see two microtubules are present in a single structure. Thus, it is known as a doublet microtubule. And here you can see inside your doublet microtubule there is presence of two types of fibers. One is known as your subfiber A and another is known as your subfiber B. Okay, it is known as your one is known as subfiber A and another the red one which is known as your subfiber B. Subfiber B. Okay, but here in the singlet microscope we cannot find any types of the subfiber. Okay, and the inner core which contains the singlet microtubule, it is known as your inner sheath. What is that called? The sheath or the covering. It is known as your inner sheath. Okay, and the subfiber A, look the diagram. It is connected to the subfiber B by a linker with or it is having two arms. Okay, subfiber A, subfiber or the doublet microtubule, that is your subfiber A having two subfiber. So having two arms, that is having two arms. Okay, here you can see two arms. One is inner arm and another is outer arm, which contains the subfiber A contains, but subfiber B do not contain any arms. Okay, you can write there two arms, that is inner arm and outer arm. Okay, these two arms they contains most of the proteins. That protein it is known as your proteins. That protein is known as dynein. Okay, which of the protein? The name of the protein is dynein. And you can see the subfiber A, it is linked with the subfiber B. How they are linked? By the inner arm structure. This inner arm structure helps in the binding or subfiber A. It is connected to the subfiber B by the help of a linker. Okay, that is, you can write that point. Subfiber A is linked to subfiber B by a linker. Okay, and it consists of which protein? It consists of the nexin protein. Okay, the protein it is known as your nexin. Here you can see the diagram. The subfiber A, the inner arm is present. Inner arm is connected to the subfiber B by the help of a linker. This is known as your linker. Okay, this portion it is known as your linker. Okay, linker contains the which protein? Nexin protein, but the inner arm and outer arm contains the dynein protein. Okay, these are the basic about the doublet structure, and you can see the spoke-like structure which is present. 9 spoke-like structures is present, and 9 doublet structures are present. That's why it is known as your 9+2 arrangement. This arrangement is known as your 9+2 arrangement, or we call it as 9+2 stranded. That is 11 stranded. Okay. Here, this red-like structure, you can see between the sheath, the central sheath is present, and it is doublet structure. Between these, there is presence of a 9 spoke-like structure. You can see the spoke is present. These are known as your spoke. Okay. Okay, this is known as your, the head portion is known as your head spoke, and the tail portion that is attached to the A subfiber. You can see the spoke, it is attached to the A, not the B subfiber. Okay. The subfiber A, it is attached to the central C by the help of a spoke, and this spoke having two parts. That is your head portion. This portion it is known as your spoke head, and the portion which is attached to the subfiber A, it is known as your radial spoke. Okay, and you can see though this is the outer plasma membrane structure. This is outer plasma membrane, and with the plasma membrane, the doublet microtubules are attached with the help of a membrane leaf. Here you can see the leaf-like structure which connects the plasma membrane with the microtubule. It is known as a membrane leaf. Membrane leaf. Okay, we can write that point. Subfiber A is attached to central sheath by which structure? By spoke. By a spoke. Okay. These are some important points about the internal structure of cilia and flagella. Note down these points and draw the diagram. Okay. Then we will discuss about some important functions of cilia and flagella. Note down these points. Now let us discuss about some important functions. What is the main function of cilia and flagella? That is the main function, it is your transport and movement. Okay, that is one important function is that these are the locomotor organelles. Most of the prokaryotic cells, that is the bacteria, unicellular organism, they are the unicellular organisms, and in case of protists like your euglena and paramecium, they are also having the cilia and flagella. They mainly helps in the movement, and in some protists they also helps in the capturing of food. Okay, they capture the food from the outer environment. And in case of sponges, that is development of water current. Sponges, you know, they are the aquatic organisms. They mostly remain in the sea water, and in the sponges, the water current, it is continuously flow inside them and continuously flow outside the body with the help of the cilia. And in the respiratory tract, they remove the dust particle of the incoming air, the air which we are taking in our respiration process. Okay, that is oxygen, and it contains most of the outer environment, that is your air, and it is filtered by our respiratory system due to the presence of several cilia inside birth. That is known as your which movement? That is known as your coordinate movement. Okay, not independent movement. And in oviduct, that is present inside your female reproductive system, inside your human body. Okay, that is mainly helps in the transport of egg. And next important point is that there is your kidney. The main function of the kidney is that they mainly transport the excretory products. A kidney filters the most of the excretory products of our body, that is having the renal tubule structure. We have already discussed in the introduction part. Then another important function is that in lower animals, they mainly helps in the movement of gametes. Several gametes are moved by the cilia and flagella and sensitive to external changes. If we say any environmental change occur inside our environment, then it can sensitive to the temperature. That is, they can able to identify that this temperature is lowering or temperature is increasing. Okay, how? Because the presence of the cilia and flagella. Okay, these are some important functions of cilia and flagella. Note down these points. Then we will discuss about some another cell organelle, that is your centrosome. Okay, note down these points. Okay, now let us discuss about another important cell organelle. That is, what is that cell organelle? That is centrosome. Okay, who discovered centrosome? T. Boveri in 1888 discovered the centrosome, and it is mostly present in case of animal cells, which helps in animal cell. It is present, but in plant cell it is absent. Okay, the question may come, why the centrosome structure arises? Because most of the cytoskeleton, that is your microfilament, microtubules, they are not permanent. Okay, they disassemble with the growing. As they grow, they become disassembled. Okay, you can write that cytoskeleton is not permanent. It disassembles. Okay. That's why disassemble means breaks into parts. Break into parts. Okay, that's why those centrosome structure arranges to give this permanent structure to the growing eukaryotic cell. As the cytoskeleton, we already know that they give permanent shape and size to the growing cell. As they are absent or they disassemble during their absence, due to the absence of cytoskeleton, the work it is performed by your centrosome. That is, they mainly helps in the cell division process. Okay. Then next one we note that it is a membraneless cell organelle. Membraneless cell organelle, that is, they are having no membrane. One centrosome per cell. If you consider about a single cell, then there is presence of a one centrosome in that cell. Okay, and they mainly helps in the which process? Helps in cell division. Okay, during cell division they mainly helps. Okay, then next one is that so cytoplasm, it is known as cytoplasm of centrosome, it is known as your centrosphere. Centrosphere. Okay, SPHER. Okay, and the each centrosome having two rod-like centroles. Okay, each centrosome having two rod-like centrioles. As they having the two rod-like centrioles, okay, these are also known as your diplosome. What is called? They are also known as your diplosome. And the diplosomes, the two centroles which are present, they are perpendicular each other. That is, one is present is like that, and another is present upon the another centrole. Okay, they are perpendicular each other. Perpendicular to each other. Okay, and the main function of centrosome is to provide the mechanical support to the growing cell, and it makes or it mainly separates the cell organelle from each other. What is the main function of centrosome? The main function of centrosome is to it provides mechanical strength and keep organelle separate. Okay, they mainly helps in the making the mechanical strength, or it provides the mechanical strength to the cell, as the cytoskeleton provides the strength. As when they are absent, during their absence, the centrosome provides strength, and it helps in the to keep the cell organelles apart from each other. Okay, these are some important main features. Then write down these points. We will discuss about the main structure. What is the structural appearance of centrosome? Okay, wrote down these points. Okay, now let us discuss about the structure of centrosome, internal structure, how it is looking. As we know that centrosome consists of two centrioles. That's why they are known as, what is that? They are known as your diplosome. Okay, here you can see the structure of the centriole. One centriole, the section is that is your TS, that is transverse section. That it consists of three triplets. These triplets, it is known as your, here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 triplets it is present, and each triplet it is named as your A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. We named it as ABC or 1, 2, 3, and it is ABC or 1, 2, 3. Okay, and here the C, it is connected to the A portion. Okay, we can write the point each centriole having 9 triplets which are present at periphery, and each triplet having 3 subfibers. What are these subfibers? That is A, B, or 1, 2 or 3. Okay, these are known as the 3 subfibers. And here the center in the center of the center we have the no subfibers are present. This is known as your hub. As there is no subfiber is present, it is known as your 9 cross 0 arrangement. Okay, it is known as 9 cross 0 arrangement. But in cilia flagella, what is the arrangement? Yes, that is 9 plus 2 arrangement. Why? Because there is presence of singlet microtubules in the center. But here we have no microtubules. Okay, that is known as a 9 plus 0 arrangement. But and here you can see there is a linker. That is one triplet is attached to the other triplet by Ca linker. One triplet it is attached to the, you can see the diagram. One triplet is attached to the other by Ca linker. Okay, here by Ca linker, one triplet is attached to other triplet. Okay, and in the center to the A portion, okay, the subfiber A it is connected to the center hub by a spoke structure. It is known as your spoke. Okay, the subfiber A is attached to central hub by a spoke. Okay. These are some important structural features of centriole. Note down these points, then we will discuss about the function of centriole. Okay, note down these points. Okay, I have forgot to tell that you can see one triplet is present and another triplet is slightly curved, and they usually makes a 40-degree angle. That is, one triplet is separate by angle of 40 degree. Okay, you can see one present is here and another is cartwheel like structure. That is, it is slightly curved and the angle it is around 40 degrees. 40 degree. Okay, triangle. Okay, note down these points. Okay, we have seen the structure of the centrosome. It mainly consists of two parts. That is your two centrioles, which is known as your diplosome. Then in the absence of cytoskeleton, the main function of the cytoskeleton is to provide support to the growing cell, and it mainly helps in the cell division process. It also mainly helps in the cell division process. Which part? That is your centriole. Mainly helps in the cell division and formation of spindle fiber. Spindle fiber, you know, during cell division process, suppose this is your cell, okay, and it undergoes the cell division process, and these are the spindle fibers which are present at the asters. Okay, these mainly spindle fibers helps in the transport of the chromosomes. Then another important question is that they help in the are known as your microtubule organizing center. That are most of the microtubules which are present inside your centrosome. It is mainly organized by your centriole, and it forms the aster at the pole during cell division. Okay, you know that the aster from which the spindle fiber arises. Suppose from it is the pole of the cell division process, and from which the spindle fiber arises, and it is known as your aster. Okay, this is also formed by your centriole, and it forms the basal bodies of the cilia and flagella. Already we have discussed the structure of cilia. It is mainly composed of basal body, then basal plate, and the structure of the basal body, which is present below the cytoplasm or below the cell membrane. It mainly consists of the centrioles. And last function is that most of the axial filaments of sperm, in case of human reproductive system, you know that the sperm is present, and the axial part it is having the centriole. Okay, these are the important structural features of the centriole. Today we have discussed about the main structure of the cilia and flagella, how they are similar in structure, because mainly they are the protoplasmic processes, that is they are the extension of the plasma membrane. Mostly the cilia they are present in larger amount, but the flagella they are present in few. Okay, but their function is to provide movement to the growing organelles, or it provides several functions like movement of gametes, movement of zoospores. Okay, and it also present in our respiratory system, in kidney also it is present. Okay, we have discussed some important features of the cilia, flagella and centrioles today. Next class we will study about the another important cell organelle, that is your nucleus. Okay, till then see you in next class. Thank you.